Welcome, putties, to True Tall Tales, where reality is stranger than fiction. Picture this, a story so outlandish, so jaw-droppingly bizarre, it would have you questioning reality itself. And who better to spill the beans than our guest today, straight from the party paradise of Ibiza. But rewind the tape, rewind it all the way back to where the magic begun, Bundaberg, Australia. It was a chance encounter on the sun-kissed sands of Bondi Beach 16 years ago that ignited a friendship forged in laughter and mischief. Now fast forward to the present, where our guest is making waves not just as a rising pop sensation, but also a lyrical genius. That's right, she's the upcoming Aussie Popstar who's been making headlines in the news right now around the world. And today she's spilling the tea on a true tall tale that's got TMZ buzzing from Coachella to the Hollywood Hills. Get ready to gasp, get ready to gossip, because this story is hotter than a desert sun. So well, without further ado, let's give it up for my homie Beks. Thank you for coming on the show for True Tall Tales. Usually I would never wear sunglasses, but it is 12:37 a.m. in the morning right now, and I got your message, and because Beck is in Ibiza. So what time is it there?
It's about 5 o'clock, so it's about sunset in Ibiza, and I usually always wear sunnies, so no excuse for me. Born diva, born and bred diva, not by choice, diva by destiny.
Mine is just too early, and I was about to go to bed, and the ring light, just to make you look nice, is really, really bright. That's why I've got them on. But welcome to True Tall Tales. Beks is here all the way from Ibiza, and as you know, the rules of the show is you're here to talk about a true tall tale. Your True Tall Tales all over the news right now, so take it away.
Well, look, I come, as you know, because I know you're Sunny from Bundy, I come from a country town where we tend to trust everybody, is who they say they are, because you're not going to get away with it elsewise. Everybody knows everyone's business with the doors unlocked. And I am searching around the world for hits, and I've landed myself in LA. And I've put up an Instagram story saying I'm looking for producers to work with. A mutual friend from Australia connects me with a 7-time, for anybody at home watching, anyone at home listening, inverted commas, 7-time Grammy nominated producer. And naturally, I'm a songwriter. I want to gravitate towards credible songwriters and producers. So I hit him up, and I'm like, let's get chatting. We start chatting on WhatsApp, which is, since COVID, the most used app for songwriters and producers since COVID. And we get talking, one thing leads to another. Are you going to Coachella this weekend? And I say, I'm not going to Coachella. I don't have a ticket. Well, you're in luck, Bundy babe, because I happen to have a spare all access pass and accommodation in a 5-bedroom villa filled with artists and producers. Would you like to get in on this deal? And I said, you know what? That sounds too good to be true. Sign me up. So I proceed
to say that, but you are in LA. Do you have better Wi-Fi where you are, in that hotel, wherever you are? It was chopping out a little bit. Where were you?
No, I don't.
That's okay. Just keep the computer close to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think it pick up your voice.
Okay, all right. Are there any parts of the story that you've missed?
No. It was just a little bit robotic at the start, but that's fine. I think we get the gist. But yeah, so you got to LA and you met this. So you said a friend introduced you to this guy?
That's it. So a friend of mine, a good friend, introduced me. She'd met him out at a party a few years back at Ibiza, ironically. And he was telling her all about how he'd been on tour with Bad Bunny and he'd won all these Grammy nominations. And so, she naturally believed him and she connected me with him. And as I said, we got talking about Coachella. Next minute, I'm being offered this once-in-a-lifetime deal to be in a house full of like-minded creatives, have an all-access pass, which he described as, backstage, side stage. And I don't care what anyone says. As an artist, I'm jumping at that. Why would I not jump at that? So I jumped at the opportunity, And he tells me that he's flying in on a helicopter. Would I like to join the helicopter for an extra $1,200? And I said, look, I'll just stick with the accommodation and all access pass package for $4,800. And so
US?
what's that?
4,400 US, was it?
4,400 Australian.
Okay.
And so I send him 2,000 US to secure the all access pass. And then immediately I get a phone call from him and a text message from him saying, I'd given you the wrong details. Those details are for an account that doesn't exist anymore. Those funds are going to bounce back to you. I say, okay, well, what do you want me to do about that? Because it's now gone out of my account. It's in the ether. What am I going to do? And he said, well, can you just drop over the cash tomorrow instead and cancel the transaction? So I said to him, I don't have 2,000, but I do have your remaining 1,200 for the accommodation. I contacted my bank immediately and said, look, cancel this transaction. And I wasn't that worried, to be honest, because when someone tells you that they've given you the wrong account details, you naturally think that the money's just going to bounce back into your account, right? And so
correct, but just a quick question with that. Did you get any red flags or gut feeling just a tiny bit at this moment, or no? Nothing at all?
At this point, no. At this point, I'm guns blazing. I'm, naively believing everything that he's saying. He's dropping names left, right, and center. I'm thinking this is my, my calling. I'm thinking all of the hard work that I've done as an artist is paying off. I've been connected with the right person. This is my first Coachella experience, and what a way to experience it. And so the next day, after I've informed the banks and everything, I go to his studio, and he starts showing me music, and we're getting along. He's telling me his sob story about how, as a person of color, he's faced so many discriminations, that Tiesto has used his music before, but they don't even want to acknowledge him when he's at the events because of the color of his skin. And naturally, as someone that's compassionate, empathetic, well, most people might say I'm pathetic for falling for this, but empathy for people, I just fell for it. I just thought, this guy's, he's had a hard time. But I get it. And so he drives me to a local ATM with his fiance. Once again, for anyone listening at home, inverted commas, fiance.
Wait, can I ask one question? Beks? What, why was it not a red, why was he driving you to an ATM? Why couldn't you, when you're at his house hanging out, listening to music, why could you not transfer the rest of it, just transferring it? Why did he suggest take it out in cash? How did that come up?
Because at this stage, it's the day before Coachella. So according to him, a wire will take another 5 days, which basically means that he's not going to have the money, right? And I don't want to miss out. So I agree to let him drive me to the ATM, pull out 600 US, and then my bank wouldn't let me pull out any more. So then I wire transferred in front of him and showed him the receipt, a further 600 US. So at this point in the story, I'm down 3,200 US, which is about 4,800 Australian dollars. Red flag I missed right in that moment was when he drove me to the ATM. He stopped at a gas station to fill up the car, and he put $20 in the car. That should have been red flag, because somebody claiming to be going to Coachella in a helicopter who can't put more than $20 in their car should have been warning. Anyway, I give him the cash, give him the second wire transfer, and then I go to the studio and I make a song. At the end of the studio session, I get a text message from him that the accommodation had been given away to. Look, it was utter ramblings, this message. It was my My label managers said that this house is now being confiscated from me because it's going to become an event house and they don't want us to not get any sleep. So we're relocating to a new location. And I'm going, yep, okay, warning bells. All right. And so the next morning, this is the day of Coachella, I get a message from him saying, what time are we going? And I'm like, what do you mean? You're getting on a helicopter, or I'm finding, like, I was planning on getting an Uber or whatever. Oh, no, I decided to drive. Okay. All right. Well, can you send me the address and the receipt for the new accommodation? I'm not leaving LA without it. 6 hours go by. Hey, dude, where is it? And all I get back from him is, are you coming with us or not? And I said, I'm not going anywhere until I get the details. I'm not going to, my team, I have a management team, they're not going to let me go out into the middle of nowhere without an address. They need that address. Then I get a message from him saying, oh, also, by the way, that all access pass, my manager label ramblings about manager labels having to give away that all access pass to an artist. Are you cool with VIP? And I consulted my team. I consulted, a couple of friends, and I said, look, mate, this is a completely different deal to what I signed up for. I did not sign up for VIP tickets. I did not sign up for last minute changes in accommodation. I did not sign up for driving out to the desert with you and your fiance. So count me out. I'm done.
Add to that, fair call. Like, it's like, you're this new Australian girl, like in LA. He said he was getting a helicopter. He wants you to come in the car. The pictures that he showed you, the accommodation's now changed. So I get it. If you're paying that much money, you kind of want to get what you were paying the money for. And they've got the money now. Now they're taking it all away and changing it. So I hear you on this. Anyway, keep on going.
Exactly. And there's a key sentence there that I forgot to mention, that when he said that he wanted to find new accommodation, the last sentence in that paragraph was, where no one can find us. Now, I don't know what crack this guy's on, but if he intentionally said that, no matter how he intentionally said that, to me, that was enough of subconscious dialogue for me to go, no way am I going out there when no one can find us. No matter how he meant for me to perceive that sentence, I think that is a very just kind of alarming thing to say. Why would you say that? Anyway, so he's accepted that I'm out and he's agreed to pay me back.
Okay, so what, he sent a text message going, no problems, I'll pay you back. Okay.
No problems, right? And so I'm like, okay, this dude's amicable, because a real scammer would just block me now, He'd tell me to go F myself, that, whatever. But he says, yeah, no worries, I'll wire you the money back. And then a few hours pass. I'm on TikTok watching this all unfold. I'm getting severe FOMO. I've paid the money and I'm now sitting in LA. It's raining in a random Airbnb with people I don't know, going, have I made a mistake here? He sends me a video of him walking through the Airbnb saying, look what you missed out on. You made a big mistake. It's not too late to change your mind. And so I call my girlfriend. I say, do you want to go out? Like, I've paid for this house, but I can't go alone. And, she's a bit, strong woman. And she's like, yeah, look, we'll just go out. You already paid for it. Might as well. Even if you don't go to Coachella, like, it's better than being here in the rain. We can go to the after parties or whatever. So I sent him this message, and in response to this video that he sent me, and I say, oh, look, maybe I'll come out. Like, I'll come out tomorrow. I'll bring my friends, because at this stage I'm still gaslit and think that I'm crazy for not going, because he's shown me something real. out of this story. He's shown me something tangible. And then he sends me photos of the VIP wristbands, and I say, we can work something out. And what I'm thinking in my head is, am I allowed to swear on this show?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking, well, you fucked me on my VIP tickets and you fucked me on the ACOM. I'm going to get a deal out of this. So I'll bring my friend out, and instead of an all access pass, you just give me 2 VIP passes. My friend's got accommodation. There, we've got a deal. And he says, no, send me more money, because he wants to get more money out of me. If your friend's coming, send me more money. And I said, no. I call him and I say, listen, bro, if you can't work out a deal for me here where everything has changed, then I'm not coming anywhere.
So at this stage, you're just trying to barter, one, for your protection, because if you've got a friend there, then it makes you feel a little bit safe. So that was one of the reasons. And the second one was, well, I paid all this money. You've changed all the plans after you got the money. So let's make a deal now that let me bring a friend for safety, and also just give us to VIP, which is probably the amount of money of what it's for. That's where you're going with this, right? And then if not, then you just won't go. Okay.
Exactly.
Why not? You've already been fucked over twice.
Exactly. And, as I said, there's a lot of tactics that these guys use to emotionally gaslight you into like blurring the lines of what's real and what's not real. And I even went as far as to say to him, thank you for getting me such a good deal, because he wrote me a message saying, these tickets are normally double the price. I got you a discount. And I said, look, thanks for doing me a really good deal, but I'm still going to have to decline. And anyway, for somebody that is super clouty, he is clouty on his Instagram, always posting watches and stuff. As the night goes on, I notice he hasn't posted any Coachella. Not a single party, not a single appearance by anyone. And then I go on his girlfriend's Instagram and I see that they are actually in the snow somewhere. So they're not even at Coachella. They don't even go to Coachella. They go to no parties, no nothing.
I've got a quick question, so you're probably going to answer. So the house that you're going to go to, was that the house in the snow, or was he not going to be the house that you were going to that he sent you a video of? I'm confused about that bit.
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I would assume what's happened is he's gone to the house of the Airbnb, probably for one night or even just a walkthrough video. And then, maybe it wasn't even his house. Maybe it was someone else's, a friend's house that he was dropping into and just using that as a video. But I do know that he did not go to Coachella. I don't know what happened in between taking that video and ending up at the snow in some location where it was snowing. I don't know. And anyway, all I know is that someone that's going to Coachella and is clouting about going to Coachella on a helicopter, showing their diamond watches, rambling on about Bad Bunny, they're going to have some videos of them being there. There's no videos. And anyway, so that's when I knew. I was like, I really fucked up. I really fucked up. So I'm still trying to be nice to him because I'm using the friendly tactic. And so for the next following days, I'm using the friend, hey, when can I get the money? Hey, can you help? Like, I really need that money. I really need that money. And, giving me all kinds of stories. Oh, I'm not in town yet. I'm at got to go see my kid, blah, blah, blah. And I think on the Tuesday, I just sent him a police report number and said, give me my money or I'm going public. And he wrote me back, what the hell, bitch? I was helping you out. I didn't steal your money. I paid for everything up front. And I'm like, dude, you gave me the money. I mean, you took my money. Like, there's nothing to be paid up front. And then it got worse. That's when I spoke to my bank and they're like, that money that you're assuming to bounce back, they got it. So they got all the money. And Wednesday I said, look, I'm about to go public. You've got another chance. He just read it and left me on red. So I posted the video and it went viral.
That's a
And
video I saw on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah. Because, yep, sorry, continue.
yeah, it went viral. You know, Julia Fox engaged with it. Next minute, you know, a week later to where we are now, 24 independent cases, all coincidences. No one, like, these are people that don't follow me. These are people that are not native to my location, normally being Australia. These are literally coincidental people finding this video and going, he did it to me in Orange County, he did it to me in San Diego. The horror stories are unbelievable. You know, he's like the Tinder swindler. He would meet women, extort them of their savings, max out their cards, finance cars in their names, and just drain people. At one stage, a club promoter reached out to me and said that he had sold them a fake Travis Scott appearance claiming to be his manager. And not only was there no Travis Scott, but the label sued the club for false advertising that their artist was going to be at the club because of this guy. He got his teeth knocked in Las Vegas because of, you know, scamming gangsters and then using that to tell women that he got shot leaving the studio with Chris Brown. Like, the stories don't stop with this guy. Honestly,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
And
it's just been wild.
so like I said, it did go viral. I've seen it. It's made news, like, you know, news overseas, news here in Australia. And especially the other victims, like you said, 24 have come out, different women that have been ripped off with different stories and the amounts as well, because they would have saw, you know, social media now is big now. So they would have saw your story and said, hang on, I remember that guy. Oh my God, he ripped me off. Because one thing I can relate to, I've been frauded as well. And there's anyone that's been frauded or scammed by someone, people always say, oh, you're so stupid. Why didn't you set the red flags? Till it's happening to you, you actually believe them because they're so good at it. And I feel like I just trust everyone, and I give everyone the benefit of doubt. The worst thing is when you get scammed is you're very embarrassed when you realize it's happened. Like, I felt very
Yeah.
embarrassed, like, to a point that I'm like, no, it can't be. And I'm still believing them. Like, no, they're not a bad person. And then you realize, and then all the stories you're telling now where they keep messaging, it's like they're addicted to it. They're so professional. They like you said, he could have just cut you off and blocked your number, but they don't. They keep on messaging you and keep doing another story. Like, it's mental. And I don't know if they're a little bit crazy, but they're trying to convince themselves, but they've done it to so many people and for so long that it's just so natural for them just to talk that much shit and keep on doing it. And that's why they do stay in contact and send you messages and videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it creates a story for them to show other people. Like, no, look, I messaged her, I messaged him. Like, I said, I got the new place. You know, it's like fake receipts for them, just to make them, if someone, you know, steps up and says, hang on a minute, you did this. No, what are you talking about? Let me show you this. Like, you know, they've just got little bits of evidence. So they're professionals for a reason. And sorry, I'll let you get back to the story. One thing I hate is I got ripped off $4,000 as well. And what's annoying is these people get away with it because when you go to the police, it's such a small amount that the police can't do anything about it till everyone realizes it's the same person. And mine's $5,000, Beks is $5,000, another one, and the one that was frauding me was ripping off $170,000. So that's when the cops did something about it, when everyone reports them. So if you've got 24 victims you've reached out to, if they all go to the police, that's when they can catch these people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you've said it exactly right, Sonny. And you know, what I'm really guilty of here is believing people are who they say they are. I am guilty of wanting to believe the best in people. And, you know, when I posted my video, I got so much backlash, people calling me dumb, stupid, why didn't you use Google? But I don't know about you, when I'm developing a new relationship or a new friendship, and one that I think is a real one, especially when you meet them in person, you talk to them on the phone, I don't Google them. How many friends have you made in your life that you Google? Like, I've never met somebody that I think is a friend, and then run on home and Googled them. Like, I get it, and I will be doing that in the future. But as I said, we come from a country town where everybody knows everybody. Everybody is who they are, who they say they are. And I'm just not into this victim blaming stuff, because I know that my problem is a first world problem. It is not life or death. It is not assault. It is just a first world problem. Okay. I wanted to go to a festival. It is not life threatening. But what it does do is create a hostile environment where real victims of assault, of domestic violence, of trafficking, multitudes of things. It creates a hostile environment where people don't feel safe to come online and say, I did this, I fell for this happened to me. And that's the bit that really shits me, is like, you know what? Don't tell me I'm dumb. I'm feeling dumb. I'm making this embarrassing, cringy video so that he doesn't make other people feel dumb. And the most validating thing about making this video is getting an inbox full of people saying, I felt alone. I thought I was alone. And I don't care what anybody says. It's traumatic. It's traumatic because it really impacts the way that you see the world. It's like being a child and believing everybody and believing Santa Claus is real. I remember when I found out those things were also scams, and it affects the way that you interact with people in a sad way.
And you're right, because you're in the music industry, you're over there, you got introduced by a friend. You're like me, you're not judgmental. I take people for who they are and who they say they are, and that's why you believed it. So why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? It's he was in the moment, he had pictures, he had videos, he had the swag, he had the personality, like it works. Like what I was gonna say is, you may be able to answer this question, but when it went all over the news and all the victims were coming out, I saw it all over social media, and he had a blue tick. So my theory is, how does Instagram or Facebook, whoever owns these blue tick things, how are they blue ticking someone that says they have 6 Grammy nominations and not investigating that? Like, why are they letting someone have a blue tick that says they have 7 Grammy nominations? That's where I'm like, isn't Instagram and TikTok meant to be verified? Like, that's 100% fraud right there.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I know getting my blue tick, I had to submit articles that proved who I was, that I'm a public figure. But I know you can buy them. I don't know how they're doing it, but I know that you can buy them. And he's blocked me, so I can't see, but some people have told me that he's lost his blue tick.
He has. That's where I was going with that, Bex. He's actually lost his blue tick. So it just shows you that a lot of people realized who he was, complained to Instagram, because that's fraud. So you do not need to have that blue tick. You are faking to be someone else to rip people off. That is scum.
Exactly. And like, as much as I'm thankful to Instagram for doing that, I know I have more than 100 messages from people saying I reported him. Instagram needs to take this seriously, because this is how they get people. They infiltrate these communities and they use it to scam people. So Instagram is not taking these reports seriously enough. Like, if you've got 100 people reporting someone in 7 days for fraud, and you come to my page and you see that my biggest video has like literal account information, they should be taking that down.
I've always said the same thing. You know those telemarketing people that call you and they're actually in an office of people working, and we've all had those calls, and they rip elderly people off, people who can't speak the native language of the country they're in, like awful. They go for the vulnerable. Why, when people aren't getting, if the FBI or the CIA can track someone from a phone call coming in within 30 seconds where they're like, hold them on the line, why can't these telephone companies just track those phones coming in? That's the fraud person. Go them, shut those offices down. They just don't. And that's what's annoying, because it's like, they always say the amount's not big enough for us to investigate it and follow it up. I'm like, start from those ones. It just like I said, you've been your
Yeah.
story, true tall tales about being frauded. I've been frauded. There's a lot of people listening to this episode that's been frauded. It's an awful, awful feeling.
Yeah. It really is. But you know what? He pissed off the wrong Australian. I'm determined to bring him down. And I don't have any issues being cringe. I've been calling out stuff in the media ever since I had access to the internet, you know. So he thinks that I'm gonna, you know, be in the shadows, embarrassed and cringy. I am embarrassed and cringy, but I'm all good with that because I'm not gonna let it go. And I can tell you the good thing about this has been the power of social media. The police can't do anything about it, maybe not, but I tell you what, when you look up his name now on the internet, you're going to find a shitload of articles that I have made public to ensure that people don't get scammed by him again.
And that's so true because you're right. If you're these people that were calling you stupid or dumb, or anyone says that to people who got frauded, if they think they're getting frauded, they're going to Google this person. And the articles that do come up are from you exposing him and his actions. So, this is good that you've put a voice to this because, like I said, I'm someone that's been frauded and it is scary because you do feel like they're going to come after you. You're in another country. I was in another country. I was in Vancouver. So I was quiet about it because like, it's fine. Like I'll just lose out on the money. I don't want people like following or watching me because that's the paranoia that comes in your head that
Mm,
it's like, you've got me on socials. I've recorded. I've hung out in a house with you. I've told you personal things that I've just arrived from this country, from Australia to America. Like all those thoughts go in your head and you're like, what else are they tracking? Do they have my suitcase? Do they know where I'm sleeping now? Are they going to come attack me because I put this on social media? America have guns. It's legal there to have guns. Like that goes through your head and that is scary. That's why I reached out to you and messaged you and said, are you okay? Because are
mm,
you okay? And you flew to Ibiza where you are now, so that made me
yeah,
feel a little bit safe.
yeah,
And the question I want to ask you, with all this that you're telling me, are you okay now or doing better? That's the most important question I wanted to ask you at the end. How are you right
yeah.
now with all of it that's happened and exposing?
I'm great, honestly, because the most uncomfortable part of it was the days when I realized the few days in between realizing I'd been scammed and not being able to get a result with him directly was made me feel so disempowered. But putting it out online, it's made it a it's almost like not a loss, honestly, like because that has given me um the ability to feel like I've got some control back
Mhm.
over him. Yeah. So I mean, I'd hate to be him right now. Like
Good,
it's just
good.
it's
People
spreading
like
more
this,
and more.
they do it, they get away with it for so long. And like I said to
Yeah.
you, people get embarrassed, they just go down, they don't want to do it, they're scared. Thank you for being strong with it and exposing him and making those other women or men that reached out to you that were ripped off by him as well. And it made them feel better. Like that's 24 people's lives where they went through that moment and they're like, fuck, this happened again. Thank you for bringing attention to this because it's like they're getting, even though they didn't get their money back, they got their money back by seeing him being exposed years later or months later where it happened to
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
that's
That's what I
worth
mean.
every cent.
Just validating. Yep. You know, you might look at me on Instagram and think, oh, she's got it all together. But just like you, I believe the lies. Just like you, I fell for it. Just like you, I was gaslit, made to feel delusional. And just what you were saying about the safety thing, you know, I'm actually not worried about my safety because people like him, they need money to get on a flight, to get on over here and or whatever. Like whatever he plans to do requires resources. And even him threatening to sue me, I can't imagine any lawyer that works for a living would see this case and say, yeah, of course I'll take on this case. You're going to pay me my fees, right? Anyone working with to try and sue me for defamation would take one look at this and go, I'm not working with this guy. I'm not going to get paid. Like, why
Mm.
would you want to do contractual work for a scammer?
Well, no one would. That's what I mean. And it's like when they get angry, and like he said, his
Oh
girlfriend got
my
angry, they get
God.
angry because they've been exposed. So they're just scared now. So, allegedly, because it hasn't gone to court, but if you know it's happened and it's happened to you, then it happened. It happened. There's 24
Yeah.
people. It's not one person. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not one. 24 accounts. So there's
Exactly.
probably more that don't even have social media that haven't seen it yet. So,
Literally.
yeah.
Literally. I reckon there's thousands of cases that you could just scratch on the surface here. And I'm hoping that there's nothing deeper. But, the way that he said to me when no one would find us, I'm going human trafficking. I'm
Oh,
thinking,
no.
what the hell else? Because these people are sociopaths.
Yeah.
We
It's, it's,
don't know. That's the thing, is that I'm doing this in the public. It's unraveling. We don't know. We don't
mm.
know exactly how bad it is, but I'm hoping through your podcast and everybody else that's behind this, we'll be able to get to the bottom of it.
Yes, yes. If you are a person that is listening to this episode and it sounded very familiar, please send a message to what's your Instagram, Bex, or TikTok?
Uh,
Hi, I'm Bex.
hi,
Hi, yeah.
hi underscore I'm underscore Beks. The
Um,
little, or just look up Beks,
Yeah, just look up
Beks.
Beck, musician. Yeah, look her up and send a message to her and reach out just so she can, add more details if this is going to go further with the police. Or if you're a person who has been frauded, feel free to write in with your true tall tale or any story to true tall tales podcast at gmail.com, and I'll get you on the show to listen to your story. Next time we chat, Bex, we'll have to tell you about my frauded story, because when I got frauded, which you don't know about, when I moved to Canada, I had to do a stakeout with the Vancouver police detectives. How crazy is
Oh
that?
my
Imagine them,
God, a
imagine them asking, going
stakeout.
back to us, and I said, "Do I have to wear a microphone? Like a thing?" And they
Yeah,
laughed
yeah,
and
yeah,
said
yeah.
no. But I just had to meet
Ah,
the girl frauding me in a cafe so they could come in and arrest her. That's still a stakeout. How crazy is that?
no way,
Yes,
dude.
yes.
No way. You
My
had to face her
story.
face to face?
I'll have to save it for the story. I'll do it for you next. I'll get you on the show again, and I'll tell you how I got frauded, because it's literally like
My
it's like a
God.
40-minute conversation, because there's so many layers to it. So many layers. That's why when you're saying this, I could relate with everything you're saying. I've been in that position, and she used me as her pawn. So
Wow.
the people who went to the police about me because I showed them her room, and they gave her the bond of the money to her account while she was in Europe. So they've only met Sunny from Australia, who let them in to show the room with the key, and she made me give them fake keys that didn't work for the building and had their $4,000 each. So same position.
Oh,
So
shit.
they went to the police about me, and I'm like, I just moved here from Bondi. Like, what is happening right now? But like I said, that's a whole nother story. Let's end it off with a positive. When you were doing this interview, because we both put our glasses on because it's really early in the morning and late here. At one point, you look like, do you know when you go to the dentist and they give you that blue thing to cover when they're cleaning your teeth, and then they give you those glasses that look like the dentist? But it's not. It's actually a really
Mate,
trendy
I'm
jet.
ready. I'm ready for I'm ready for a clean. I'm ready to go.
All right, nice. Well, Beck, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll leave her details on this episode so you can check out her music and her socials. Please come back again. Have a dance for me and a tequila and soda in Ibiza. On my bucket list, never been very jealous. And we'll catch up soon. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
What a pleasure. I love you, Sonny.